Now at 6 on Time Warner Cable News on ABC 45. Some snow is already falling in the Triad, but will conditions get worse this evening? The Time Warner Cable News team is standing by to give you the very latest on weather and road conditions. Plus, several organizations in Greensboro say they are ready to help anyone who might need shelter tonight. We'll tell you what organizations are offering assistance. And residents who live near one of Duke Energy's coal ash ponds want to have dinner with Governor Pat McCrory. Hear what those residents want to tell the governor. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sharon Stone. Those stories are coming up. First at 6, we are expecting some winter conditions in the Triad area. Meteorologist Monty Montello is here with your Weather on the Ones forecast to tell us what we can expect in the next few hours. So Monty, do you think things are going to get really bad tonight?
Actually, no. Most of the...
All right, we will. Thank you, Monty. And motorists or commuters traveling in our area are also monitoring the situation because of the potential for some tricky winter weather. Our Kristen Drummond is live on the roads in Winston-Salem with an update on the conditions there. Kristen. All right, thank you, Kristen. And ahead of the winter weather this weekend, the North Carolina Department of Transportation held a news conference today to talk about its weather-related preparations for the Triad. Elena O'Connell attended that meeting and has more on what drivers can expect.
Transportation.
It's still early to know exactly how much we will see, but please stay tuned because later in this show, our meteorologist Monty Montello will have the very latest information on the weather conditions. Stokes County school officials canceled classes early today. School leaders were worried about their students being on wet and icy roads, so they made the decision to call it a day at 12:30. Assistant Superintendent Tony George asking for parents to be patient the rest of the week. With snow likely in the forecast, it could mean more cancellations.
Our number one thing Mr. Mendenhall preaches in Stokes County is the safety of our kids and students first. So,
for the latest school closures, you can head to our website, twcnews.com. Greensboro has seen 9 white flag nights and will likely continue to see more as the winter weather develops. The flags are put outside shelters on colder nights to show they're open for people who have no place to go. It's been a month since the white flag warming plan has been enacted. Katie Husband takes a look at how the agencies are keeping up. To learn how to donate to the White Flag Warming Plan effort, just head to our website and do a search for Donate to White Flag. During bouts of freezing temperatures, experts say it's important to keep your home ready. To make sure pipes don't freeze, burst, and flood your home, they recommend wrapping insulation around your pipes, shutting the vents to your crawl space, and sealing up any holes with spray foam. It's also a good idea to put covers on your outside faucets. And if you find that you can't insulate your pipes,
leave your water running in your house, let it trickle. Each faucet, just turn it on at a light trickle, let it coming through. That keeps the water moving, and that will help prevent your pipes from freezing.
It's also recommended that you keep alternative heating sources ready and available for your home. Another tip, you can stuff towels or rags under doors or cover windows at night to keep that cold air out. In other news, dozens of people who say they have been affected by one of Duke Energy's coal ash ponds turned out for a community meeting today. As Amara Mokwe shows us, they had a message directed specifically at Governor Pat McCrory. A coalition of groups organized the neighborhood meeting, including Progress NC, the Stokes County NAACP, and Appalachian Voices. And still to come here at 6 o'clock. We are right in the middle of flu season. It is shaping up to be a healthier one here in North Carolina. Last year at this time, 26 people lost their lives because of the flu. This year, 1 person has died. As Meg Smith found, we are still at high risk for the virus. More ways to prevent the flu. Do as Mom always said, wash your hands often and cover your nose and mouth when you cough or sneeze. And you stay with us. Your sports is up next here at 6 o'clock. Plus, which one of the presidential candidates is ahead in North Carolina? A new poll answers that question. From our cruise across the state, here's tonight's Carolina Minute. The Charlotte-based startup Brew Public is leaping onto the national stage. The 1-year-old brew delivery service is joining 500 startups, a San Francisco-based startup accelerator. If all goes well, economic development officials say Brew Public's story could attract more startup money to Charlotte. Brew Public's venture capitalists think there is the potential to outpace Atlanta in startups. This teen is behind bars in connection with a shooting that injured a St. Augustine student at around 1 this morning. 18-year-old Omari Williams is charged with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, inflicting serious injury. Raleigh police believe he shot Demarion Henderson on campus. Henderson was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. New Hanover County Commissioners recently agreed to provide $1 million to help Trillium Health operate a new substance abuse treatment facility. Officials say it will be helping with jail overcrowding and giving inmates the treatment they deserve. It will be open to everyone, but 25 beds will be reserved at all times for inmates who qualify. These stories and more are available anytime on Time Warner Cable News. A new poll of North Carolina voters shows big support for the front-runner presidential candidates. Left-leaning public policy polling released a survey today that gives Hillary Clinton a big lead over Bernie Sanders in North Carolina, with Clinton polling at 59%, Sanders at 26%. On the Republican ticket, 38% of Republican primary voters polled say they plan to vote for Donald Trump. The next closest candidate is Texas Senator Ted Cruz with 16%. The primary voters followed that with Marco Rubio, then Ben Carson. Pollsters say this race, though, is far from over.
Things definitely can change a whole lot because what happens is candidates sort of build or lose momentum depending on what happens in those early states. Sometimes somebody's doing really well in the polls and then they do poorly in Iowa and New Hampshire and everything just falls apart for them.
North Carolina casts primary ballots March 15th. Sarah Palin's oldest son is facing domestic violence charges. According to court documents, 26-year-old Track Palin is accused of punching his girlfriend in the face at his mother's home in Alaska Monday. He is charged with assault, interfering with the report of domestic violence crime, and possessing a weapon while intoxicated.